Hey, Lip. Wow. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Thank you. That sound you heard was my dear friend Lepilicos subscribing for 2 years. That is insane. It's been a wonderful time hanging out with you too, my friend. We're gonna get a co-op game together, you and I. Don't worry. Hi, folks. Hi, Kunononi. Hi, Sakura. How are you all doing today? It's a pop-up stream. Shh. It's a pop-up stream. Happy Easter. Everybody's in bed. Dwarven Dad, it's good to see you. Listen, folks. I didn't want to do this one on like a normal stream because the server is very buggy, but I wanted to show off. Happy Ostara for me. Happy Ostara on my end. I wanted to show off the works being done currently for an Everquest 2 emulator. They're working diligently to try to get the game back to its original state. Now listen, a lot of the work that we are going to see is going to be incredibly buggy, incredibly rough, a lot of weird glitches and things like this, and also the vast majority of the content is not its original state currently. They're working on a lot of the stuff behind the scenes, and so people are very actively every day working on this stuff. So like the classes aren't released yet in the way that they are, so it's the current state classes and how everything kind of works in that regard. But they've got the server running. They've got a lot of stuff back. Key, it's good to see you. This is someone else's server, Kuno no Oni. This is the EQ2 Emulator.net. This is their server in particular, which is the folks who are working on the content side of things. There's also another one that is a Zek Labs. They're working more on the technical side of everything, the programming side of everything, of getting everything up and running. So there's two kind of servers that are working together in tangent, updating code and get everything working mechanically, and the other folks working far more on getting the actual, like, the voice acting from the original game, which is lost, and getting all the NPCs and quests from the olden days back. Key, it is so good to see you. I look so professional right now. I'm just chilling. It's a beautiful evening. Look, it's Easter. Happy Easter. Oh, Kunononi, Sony's probably not letting this happen. They're probably not letting this happen, Kuno, but shh. They're reverse engineering everything. They are. I hope to God that this doesn't get shut down. I'm exhausted. I got back from my in-laws today. It's been a wild Easter. Oh, sorry, Daybreak. But here's the thing: is that Daybreak Games is cool with Project 1999. So you would think they're okay with Everquest too. How many eggs? So many eggs. I'm gonna tell you about my dinner. My dinner at Easter was, we were at the in-laws. I've talked about them before. Probably some of the worst cooking I've ever seen in my life. Okay, guys, what color is a ham? I have a question for you. What color when you eat a ham? What color is it? It's pink. Oh, it's pink, Kuno. Oh, it's pink. It's not gray. Saga black. It's not gray. It's not gray. When you bite into a turkey, how long should it take for you to be able to chew that piece of turkey? Gray? How's that possible? It's possible. I had one piece of turkey that I gnawed on for like 5 minutes and tried to eat. So insanely overcooked. And it was tough. It was tough to I ate a lot of Hawaiian rolls. Celebrated my daughter's birthday for the 3rd time because they refused to come out and see us. Pink ringed with caramelized amber brown. There you go, Key. There you go. We have a local place. Oh, let me say, we have this place out here, Dearborn Hams. Dearborn, it's this amazing deli like the best stuff in the world. And we got one of their hams for Easter last year, and they were like refused. They got McDonald's before they came. Or was it last year or two? Yeah, it was last year. And they refused to eat it. Refused to eat it because we didn't cook it. You didn't need to cook it. It was already pre-cooked. And it was the most delicious ham on the face of the planet. I don't eat ham because it makes me sick. Like, I don't have a problem with the taste. I had a little taste. But if I eat, like, more than, like, a mouthful, it causes just gastrointestinal distress. But I had a bite, and it was the most delicious thing I've tasted. Yeah, key. I'm not a ham person, but it's more just because it makes my stomach just go nuts. It's really weird. I used to love it on my pizza as a kid, and all of a sudden, like, I had like food poisoning or something with it, and it has just caused this illicit reaction. I don't know what happens, but it's just gross. Let's see this game. Everybody wants to see it. Let's go see this game right now. Shall we? What happened here? Hold on. Get out of there. Alright, we're going to make a new character and show you guys the beginning process. Still, it's pretty much the same. So this menu here, not vanilla. This is the current way it looks. You can create a level 90 heroic if you pay money for it. And like create a time lock server. That's not a thing here. We'll just do a standard server. All of the classes incorrect currently. How they are set up is you make a character. You don't pick the class in character creation. You actually do that in the game, in the vanilla version. But this is what they're working on right now. It's a lot of work. A lot of work. So we're gonna make a mage character. I kind of want to. Let's go. We're a gizzard, Larry. Let's be a wizard. And who should I be? Because what was great about EverQuest 2 comparatively to EverQuest 1 is that all the classes are open to all of the races. They're not locked by races anymore like they were in the first EverQuest. And so we have the good races, the neutral, and the evil. Some of these races are not vanilla. Sarnak are not vanilla, I don't think. It's the Ixar, Dark Elves, Ogres, Trolls, Ratonga, Barbarians, Humans, Erudites, Half-Elves, Gnomes, Kara, Dwarves, Froglocks, Halflings, High Elves, and Wood Elves, I think are what they are. What should I make? Kind of want to make a Ratonga. A rat person. Because rat people are cool. Love me some rat people. I also love me some ogres and some trolls, but I don't think they make good wizards. Also, I want to be a good character for this because the evil stuff is not fully implemented. Chub. What about the chub? Are you? We're talking about like a fishing game. You doing some Russian fishing? I got some good chubs in those Russian fishing. Tell me about the chub. Chub of baloney. Oh no. No, don't. Okay, because like here's the thing, Dwarven Dad. All I can think about is your tooth story. All I can think of when you talk about like deli meats is the tooth story. Talia says, "This is the private server, Talio. So we're working on the private server. This is not how it's gonna be in the end, but it's still very early." That was Seuss. Ugh. Let's make a Ratonga. I want a nice Ratonga. Let's make a rat man, a rat wizard. So like you can do a lot of customization for this. And it's good to see you, by the way, Talio. It's good to see you. So we can go really intense, but we're just gonna kind of randomize them. I want to just randomize them to see what we get. Oh, those glasses are definitely on point though. Ooh, look at this dude. I love the old models. I love them so much. I think they look so cool. This looks like a great wizard. I love him so much. Look at him. Can I get him to be shorter? I want him to be as short as we can get. Look at him. That is a wizard. It haunts me, Dwarven Dad. That story haunts me to this day. I enjoy the Luckland models for ogres and trolls, but I know I'm a weirdo here. I really like ugly models. That's my thing. Also here, not the case in vanilla. This is in the modern game where you pick either Neriak or Garwin for evil and Kelethin and New Hallis for good. You don't start off in Kinos or Freeport for whatever reason. In the original vanilla game, that was the only cities were Kinos and Freeport. Kinos for good, Freeport for evil. So we just pick whatever. It doesn't matter because that's not actually what's going to happen to our guy here. All right. A Ratonga wizard. Oh man, what are we gonna name him? Squeaky? As soon as Boga said tooth, I just started cackling. Oh, that tooth story is the worst. It is the worst. We're gonna name him Squeaky. He's Squeaky the Ratongan wizard. Ratata! Oh, Ratata fish. So here's the thing. This. Not in the game. So this is new. Or this is the OG.
Jealous of the mortals' ever-increasing power. They formed a great council and made a pact to withdraw their influence from the realm of Norath. Or so it seemed. Intent on safeguarding their interests, the gods called forth avatars to keep watch over the mortal realm and carry out their commands in secret. Thus, the forces of chaos and order maintained their selfish grip on Norath. To weaken and divide the mortals, the legions of war and flame seized the Nexus Chamber upon the moon of Luklin and rendered the ancient teleportation spires useless. Without the spires or the druid rings to cross great distances with ease, the mortals grew fearful and isolated. The absence of the gods abated the ancient curse that held the bloodthirsty creations of Ralos Zek at bay. A new Relosian empire arose as the vengeful ogres and the hate...
Oh, that wasn't supposed to happen. I got booted out for that. That's weird. So what happened is the gods left. And because of that, the...
Intent to weaken and the absence of the gods abated the ancient curse that held the bloodthirsty creations of Ralos Zek at bay.
Ogres and orcs.
A new Relosian empire arose as the vengeful ogres and the hateful orcs built up their forces for a war that would wipe out all who opposed them. But the emissaries of order and light would not let such darkness go unchallenged. These avatars made plans of their own, enjoining the armies of Antonica to rise up and make a stand against the lurking Relosian menace. The ogres grew strong, marching forth from the Fearot to seize the swampland home of the noble Froglocks. Overcome by the Relosian onslaught, the Froglocks fled into the depths of the fetid dungeon Guck. The ogres claimed the swamp as their own and turned their hungry eyes northward to the great city that lay beyond the desert sands. In the frozen north, the orc armies overwhelmed the valiant barbarians, driving them southward to seek protection within the walls of Kinos. The rising darkness seemed unstoppable. To turn back the tide of Relosian aggression, the rival cities of Kinos and Freeport set aside their differences and prepared for an epic battle. In Kinos, the Avatar of Storms gathered his rangers and knights, while in Freeport, the Avatar of Tranquility brought forth the Ashen Order from their desert fortress. But the two cities were vastly outnumbered and seemed destined to fall. The Battle of Defiance was the last stand of civilization against the ruthless Relosian Empire. Just as the forces of darkness seemed certain to prevail, the jealous hand of the gods intervened, crippling the Relosians and allowing Kinos and Freeport to triumph. Though the long and terrible war had ended, Norath's hardships had only begun. Great cataclysms tore Antonica asunder, rending the continent into small islands divided by turbulent seas. No one was certain how many had survived, or how many had perished. Then, one dark night, the long-distant moon of Lachlan burst open in the sky, raining fire down upon the lands. Countless lives were lost, and it seemed as if fate itself had turned against the people of Norath. Finally, at long last, the skies grew quiet and the seas began to calm. The kingdoms of Kinos and Freeport sent forth great ships to find refugees ready to aid their cause. For Kinos, to rebuild the world and make it strong again. For Freeport, to expand the empire of the Overlord and conquer all who defy his reign. It is here you must choose whether to follow the path of darkness or light. The time has come for you to arise and embrace your destiny.
I hate it too when the moon pops out and bush chunks all over you.
Welcome to Norath, the world of Everquest 2.
So this is not in the current game at all. So this is recreated
and information.
From the ground up.
Everquest 2 can be played in either
This
a
is vanilla.
third-person view, which you see now, or from a first-person perspective. Scrolling the
But
mouse wheel
here's the
or
thing.
pressing the F9 key will change your view.
You started off.
Try changing
Yeah, don't
your
listen.
view
Don't
now.
mind this guy. You start off in as a citizen is your class, and what happens then is we're gonna go to the newbie island, the intro island. It's gonna teach us how to play the game, and from there we pick our overall categorical class, which is one of 4. Which is like, your general fighter, spellcaster, healer, and rogue character, or like scout is what it's called. And then from there, once we've gone into the city proper, we pick the class that we want to do. It's missing in this instance, right? So we've already kind of picked a class. But what was so great about vanilla was when you did that, you had a specialized story based on either the good version or the evil version of this, a specialized little story that was really interesting. So I think it was wizard or like a loot or enchanter, a class that I did that was evil, and it was literally like go into this. You had to go to this testing chamber and be tested, and you had to get your character be tortured. You were being tortured. You were getting hurt, but you couldn't fight back, and you had to find a way to stay alive. And like it was magical. It was magical. All right, so let's see. First person to third person.
The first thing you need to know how to
Yeah, we don't
use
need that.
the A.
We know how to move. Yeah. So this is what the game really kind of looked like in the beginning days. There's the skybox. There's the the shattered moon. And we're on the high seas. Captain Carlos.
Tis good to see you awake. You seem a little squid.
To respond to the captain and other characters.
Gotcha. I remember having to betray myself. Yes. So, like, also, if you were evil and in the city of Freeport, you had the option to betray the city and move over to Kinos. And you had to do so by proving your worth. And it involved a lot of grinding and, but doing this quest line that was really intense to be accepted as a citizen. And so you could have these ogres and trolls and dark elves actually living within the city of Kinos. It was wild. One thing I really loved was how customizable the UI was. You can make some or even all elements disappear when unneeded. Absolutely, Sakura. I swear this narrator is the same guy who read some read-along books I had on vinyl as a kid. He is in so many games. He was in Curse of Monkey Island as one of the singing pirates. If you ever played that game, he's really great.
Me apologies.
Who are you?
I am Captain Drake Varlos, and this here fine ship is the Far Journey. Me hearties pulled you from the sea, you and those other bilge rats. Do you remember?
Vaguely. Where are we headed?
We are heading to the island of Liv. And Ingrid, quit talking at the shorty and fix that yard arm. Don't want the ship to come apart on these high winds, do you?
Aye, aye, Captain.
You think she'd never seen that low before?
Okay. So we need to, since after recovering from being rescued from the seas, you find yourself aboard the far journey and have been
captain
given
has
tasks
given
to
you a
complete.
quest.
Return for the rescue.
Click on the Quest Journal button to open the Quest Journal. The Quest Journal will keep track of all important quest information for you.
Oh, there's so many things.
This is your Quest Helper. It displays the current step of your active quest.
So he was, Sakura, he was the guy with the jawbreaker in Curse of Monkey Island. He was the one with the jawbreaker. He was deeper. He had a much deeper, menacing voice at that moment, but this is his normal voice.
Place your mouse pointer on Wallen. Notice that your mouse pointer changes shape. This indicates what the normal action of a double left click on that object or person will do.
I can't wait to show
In
you
this
some of
case,
these
you
things
will
that pop
hail
up.
Wallen. Double left click on Wallen now.
So these menus are also not vanilla.
What? Oh, hey there. You startled me.
Sorry about that.
And I seem to find me hat.
Do you need some help?
Sure. Me needs you to go looky in them there boxes, and if you find it, let me know.
Also, original Everquest 2, fully voiced. This one, not so much. They're trying to find all the voices for this game. It's all in they have all access to it all. They're just trying to patch it all together. So right now, got some voice work.
Completed the first part of the quest. As you
Current
complete
Everquest 2 does
quests
not
and defeat
have any
enemies,
voices.
You earn experience points. This is represented in your experience point display.
Hey, Mahito, it's good to see you, my
Filling your
friend.
experience point display is always a requirement to gain your next level.
There it is.
As you gain
Yeah,
level,
I got
move
it,
your
buddy.
mouse pointer over the button.
So we got a goal to open up these chests here, but we can also talk to folks.
I really miss my husband. Why did those smugglers have to throw him overboard?
So Sakura, the original was fully voiced. I'm pretty sure it was. Even the enemies.
Fish when we go to the wild, even for a carn.
He doesn't have anything to say. All right, so we got to open up the chests, teaching us how to open things.
This screen shows the contents of the box. The items are now in your inventory.
You may be right.
Managing your inventory and equipment is... This is your inventory.
Yeah, inventory. Okay.
This is your equipment.
Yeah, I know.
Notice that
I'm not gonna listen to that guy. So here's our inventory. We got ourselves a tunic, and then we got the hat that we need to give to that dude. So now we're wearing a tunic instead of our robes.
Ah, me hat! Was worried. See, this hat gives me the luck.
Glad to help.
Well now, Ingrid over there can show you the rest of the ship. Me needs to plot the course to the Isles now.
And again, we wouldn't have a class here. So like that right here would be our first piece of equipment. We wouldn't have these robes or any weapon in general. Because we haven't picked our class yet. We're just a citizen.
Hello. How are you?
Good, thanks. How about you?
I am fine. Just after the last pickup, I have been working extra hard since Vim said she would give me the piece of Luckland she found.
I'm Team Everquest 2, Kuno. Why isn't he wearing the hat now? I don't know, Lip. He just keeps it with him.
Yes. Vim, the merchant over there, she found a small piece of the moon and is having me work for it. Maybe you can go buy it from her for me.
Sure, but I have no money.
Maybe you have something she will buy.
We do.
Why don't you go talk to her?
So this is teaching
a
us
merchant
how to
is a
buy and
special
sell
type
things.
of character.
They really did.
This is the merchant screen.
I know.
Where all
Yes,
the
yes,
sell
yes.
tab displays.
Okay,
control,
I got it.
Double left.
I know how to do this. So, like, we want to buy the Shard of Luckland, but we have no cash, so we have to sell our Mariner's Charm to get enough just to buy the shard.
You have
Right.
made the first of many purchases. Now close the merchant window. And
Oh,
speak to
it's
Ingrid
Haldio,
to
that
complete
hurts.
The quest.
I really love EverQuest 2 a lot because it does a lot of interesting things that MMOs don't do. And while it's a...
Ah, You got the shard!
Not as...
Great! Now I can stop doing this work and enjoy the rest of this trip. Here is some coin for your help.
I think it's better than EverQuest 1, but they're both great for very distinctly different things.
Captain Varlos looks like he is trying to get your attention.
Hi, Captain Varlos.
Avast ye, we need to talk.
Cutthroat Bill,
Well,
thank you,
tis
Sakura.
bit
Yes,
of
that's
a
him.
problem. You see, there be rats on board. The vermin keep eating the supplies, and I need ya to go feed them to the deep before they eat anything else.
So you want me to kill him?
Yeah, that's what we be needing.
How do you expect me to kill him?
With this?
Open your inventory. This is an
Right click.
action menu.
So what's great,
Right-clicking on any
I
character,
love very
item,
much,
or
let's
interface
look at our
item
journal for a
will
second. We
bring
have our
up the
quests,
action
right?
menu
And so
for
they
that
give you all this
object.
information about the quest after recovering from being rescued, etc., etc. What's really great is that there is like post-quest, like a post-quest log that they give you that's like, hey, we did this thing. This is what we accomplished.
Left click on the examine action.
So normally we'd have this because we were a citizen. We didn't have anything for us for that. He's been in so much Sakura, that voice actor, absolutely.
Left clicking.
Yes,
releasing
I know how to
if
combat.
you- before approaching a potential, it is all.
This is
Notice-
all things I've done before. It just teaches us how to
It's
fight.
time for some.
So we click on him. We see he's white, which means he's our level. And we can fight. I'm just gonna start casting some spells.
Double click on the dead rat to search its body.
Yeah.
Always be sure to take everything you can.
Take
from-
everything. Yeah, loot the bodies.
Congratulations. As you
And then,
You have earned enough experience to gain. Notice
Cousin
that your
Bernie!
experience-
loot everything. There we go. Then go back and talk to him. You dirty rat, you killed my cousin.
Ha! You made quick work of them vermin.
Thanks.
Wait, is there a...
There's supposed to be a dragon that pops up.
Quick, Ingrid! Secure the loot!
If you play on an older client,
Quick now! Secure those chests!
it pops up. It does not in this one currently. So there's a big dragon comes up. It blows everything up on fire. The goblin that was in a cage over there escapes. And now we have to kill the goblin. But
Blimey, that was close. It's been here 2 months since the last reported sighting of one of them.
still working on it.
Damnable goblin has escaped. And look, me beautiful ship is on fire. He must put an end to his life before he tears me ship apart.
Look at this little guy. Look at him. He's so cute, though. Whoa. He's so cute. Hi. He dead. And now we talk to Captain Varlos, and we go to the Newbie
you
Island.
saved the far journey and me crew. It seems you proved to be quite a hero. Well, with the help of that young lass there, you do.
It's nothing.
There be the island of refuge. Get ready to drop anchor. Just let me know when you want to go ashore.
Okay.
Ingrid, swing the lead and prepare to drop anchor. So, you ready to go ashore?
Ready to
matey?
go ashore.
Don't you mind. We get paid to do that.
So, not long after the game had launched, they had split up how the beginning island works. So we're going to Queen's Colony. It's supposed to be the Isle of Refuge. So the Isle of Refuge, it's visually the same. Here's our map. The map also looked very different in the vanilla version. The storyline is very different right now. And they're working on getting the original storyline. It's a lot of work to get the Isle of Refuge working right. Some of the quests are the same, they haven't changed, while other ones are very, very different. And so essentially the original storyline is that there are these goblins, these two factions of goblins. One that are trying to work with the people here on the island, and another that's being corrupted by this evil force. And now it's a similar story. It's similar, but kind of the concept of corruption is elevated dramatically. Like everything's corrupted. So much corruption. and these goblins are getting like drugged. In reality, it was just like they were following a guy who wants war with the humans and to drive them off the island. So things are very different right now. And so like we're going to report to a person over here, Murashar, in the vanilla version, in the original version. You would go talk to one of the 4 different people that would be you picking your starter class. You know, what category do you want to go into? And they would give you quest lines that would be more about what that class does in general. And so right now we're still doing kind of the modern, but not too, like, they don't have this experience anymore. They brought it back just recently in their like retroactive servers, their progression servers, which aren't even remotely progression. Like they don't do the vanilla stuff at all. It's gone.
Welcome. I have been anticipating your arrival. Your skills are greatly needed here at the Queen's Colony.
And so before, good and evil characters would all be in the same island. Now there's a good island, Queen's Colony, and there's an evil island. I don't remember the name. That you go to. It's all still visually the same, all with the same plot line, but this is for good and evil. Who are you?
I am Norar Shar, General of the Royal Antonican Guard and Protector of Queen Antonia Bale. I have been sent here to uncover the source of the disturbance plaguing this island.
Well, Taldio, I would say that that's not the case, though. Like, in here, when you pick your class, it isn't as cut and dry as this is your role, that's just what you do. But they were trying to, especially on this island, give you a feel of how the game plays. They're trying to create a real new player experience, to give people the beginning understandings of it. Because the game does get far more diverse in how you play and how you build your character. What's the purpose of this colony?
The Queen's Colony was established as a training ground for prospective citizens of Kinos. Our great city needs valiant defenders.
This music is also so fantastic. Tell me more about Kinos.
Kinos is a grand city that stands on the western shores of the continent of Karen. It is a place where truth and justice are valued above all else. It is ruled by the brave and noble Queen Antonia Bale. Our kingdom is a bright light that stands against the dark empire of Freeport.
Yeah. Ooh. Tell me more about Freeport.
Freeport is a city of cruelty and malice, governed by its selfish overlord, Lucan Delir. He is a dangerous madman who seeks to conquer Norath and hold us all in his iron grip. Beware his lies.
Beware his lies, Squeaky. I'll do so. How can it be a service to the colony?
Your future is as bright as your heart, but there are perils in this world that only the mightiest of adventurers may overcome. Live for Kinos, and Kinos will live for you.
Ready to learn.
I am very glad to hear it. Go and speak to Trainer Hale McGinnis, just northwest of here near the archway.
So we got
I've written his name in your journal. He will teach you the basics of combat.
Do as you ask. And so here's a little recap and the types of rewards that we get to pick from once we actually finish this. Let's equip our ring. Let's see. Okay, look at this. You see this little shiny thing here? It's got a question mark. This is my favorite thing in the world. I love this so much. So these are collections. Every place has them. So we got a duck feather, right? We double click it. This is the feather collection. We're going to see these question marks pop up all over the island. And this one in particular is very specific to this island only. If you find all of these duck feathers, you can turn them in to get yourself a special item and a bunch of XP. And there's other types of collections that you can find throughout here as well. It's all throughout the world. They have different collection stuff. And I go nuts for them. So like for instance, boom, this is the beach collection. This is the shell collection. So we got a clamshell. Bam. I cannot tell you how much the endorphins kick in. Oops, I'm crouching. How much they kick in collecting stuff. Key. But, oh, look at these crabs. Look at him. Look at him. He's pretty. He's a small coastal crab. Here's the other thing. It's good. Let's get underwater. We got a triggerfish. Look at this. A shoal glider? He even looked at me. Hi, little guy. Hi. How are you? Let's get some breath. There's also sea turtles around here, too. There is one. A reef turtle. Look at him go. Hi, little dude. Hi. You're so cute. So there's a whole variety of different quests that you can kind of discover by playing this game. There's ones that NPCs give you. There are other little quests too. You get your collection quests that you can get. But there's even more. It gets more. We'll highlight and show you some of the more interesting quests that kind of pop up in the game. Like, for instance, Key. One of the things I love about original collections are amazing. They really are, Teldio. What I love so much is language. They gamify language in the best way possible. So, if you have the civilized world's languages, you know, the main class races, right? If you have them in here, they hold on. Okay. If you don't know another, like the High Elves, right? You don't know their language. There are bookstores that you can go to that teach you its language. There are NPCs that are High Elves that are talking, and it's gibberish for you. It's just a bunch of symbols. But by getting the book and learning that language, you can now talk to them. But if you're talking other languages that are more exotic or more unusual, you have to work to learn that language. So, for instance, the kobolds, right? Or the gnolls. We'll do the gnolls, because I know this one very specifically. If you're hunting gnolls, you might find some tattered, writing, and you have to get like so many of them to patch things together and to start to piece together what the language is, and then you understand their language, which then gives you access to like quests from them and things like this. It's just really, so fantastic.
Hello there.
Anyways,
I'm here to
sorry.
teach new recruits the basics of combat. Yurar told me you show great promise.
All of this is not vanilla.
Okay, let's see what you're made of. One of the nearby sparring partners to my left will be happy to test your mettle. Challenge any one of them and return to me when you've earned a victory.
Yeah, Key. Oh my gosh, Key.
Starting combat is easy. Just use your mouse
And
pointer to
Key,
left click on an opponent.
oh,
Its name will appear
this
in
one
the
has the
target
best
window
player
on the left
housing
your screen.
of any MMO.
You can also use the tab key to
The
cycle through
best
nearby
player
targets,
housing.
or the F8 key to select your closest enemy.
You'd go nuts, Key, for crafting in this game.
If you're close enough to your
Oh.
foe and want to start hitting it with your weapon, either click your melee attack button on your hotbar or press the tilde key. Or you can begin by using one of your spells or combat arts to get the enemy's attention. Remember,
Yeah.
you can fight most non-player
I don't need to
characters
ask you about
that
all the
find
combat-related
outside your
things.
city, whether outdoors or in dungeons.
So these guys teach you all the basics, how to determine their difficulty level and like which ones have aggro, like which ones attack you on sight and that sort of stuff. So we're gonna take the formidable sparring partner. Bam. We did it.
So, did you defeat the sparring partner like I asked?
I was. Okay. So, Sakura, yeah, the Star Wars Galaxy's crafting is more, malleable. This is a more fun crafting. More, there's enjoyment in finding the right materials in Star Wars Galaxies, but like the act of crafting in Star Wars Galaxies. Are you talking about the housing? Each house was truly unique. Yeah. There's pluses and minuses. I very much enjoy that the crafting in EverQuest 2 feeds into the player housing. And that you can get books that you collect on the way and put them in there that are readable. Sorry. We crossed wires. That's my fault.
Great work. You've proven your worth and are ready for greater challenges. If you want further
I'll report
instruction
back
later,
tomorrow.
just come see me. But right now, you
Thanks,
must
dude.
report back to me.
With the player housing, there's like a lot of reliance on crafting for the things for player housing, but also the books that you collect can be placed there and readable, and that sort of stuff. So like that is all super, like, for me, important, and you don't have that kind of stuff in Star Wars Galaxies. So like for my criteria, it's very different. But
hello again. Have you passed the test that trainer Hale McGinnis set before you?
And I defeated my sparring partner and learned about Compact.
For now we have need of our courage. Until recently, our colony lived in peace with a clan of goblins known as the Sapswill that reside on the other side of the island. But for some unknown reason, they have begun to attack us. We need to begin an investigation at once to get to the bottom of this. Will you help?
The Sapswill goblins are getting all crazy. And we selected our thing that we want. I'll be glad to do what I can.
The goblins have started attacking us from the west. We're not sure what sparked the uprising, but they are now relentlessly trying to invade the colony. I need you to go see how our defenders are doing at the west gate and gather any information you can. Speak with Sergeant Haggis at the barricades and see what you can do to assist him.
So this is somewhat similar to what happens in the vanilla experience. The goblins are attacking the city gates, but the motivations and the way they look and kind of behave is a little different. And that cat is going to eat me. Got an eagle feather. Add it to the list. So we got to go this way to meet up with our dude, Sergeant Haggis.
These scampering whelps will never break through. Oh, hello there. What's that Mirar sent you?
Yeah, it's wondering how our defenses are holding.
Well, the goblins aren't very powerful. They're definitely tenacious. It's almost as if they have no mind of their own and are throwing themselves at us like flies onto a swatter.
Could use some help.
Aye, you're a gutsy one, aren't you? I'll give you a chance to prove your strength. Fend off some of these invading sapswolves. We'll see how you fare.
Will do. So they weren't mindless in this instance. They weren't tainted Sapswill invaders. They were just goblins. But the game wants you to think that that's what, that's the kind of the thing they're doing. And again, we wouldn't have access to these kind of spells right away. That is like one-shotting these things. They'd also do random drops. There'd be these treasure chests that pop up. And so like I got me a new thing. All of them had that sort of thing. So we're destroying the invaders. And talk to Haggis. It was a struggle because you didn't have these spells. You were still a citizen, I think, at this point.
By the hilt of the Claymore, you're a strong one. I could use your strength for another task. A platoon of my soldiers set out a while ago and hasn't returned. Search Sunset Meadow for these soldiers and return to me with your findings.
Cool. So Sunset Meadow. Also, in vanilla, this isn't the case right now, but they are going to return these things. We have all of these interesting points of interest in the map. Those aren't there. We would discover them. And when we did so, we got XP. So by discovering these interesting points of interest in locations that we naturally do through exploration, we get XP, we get markers on our map now that helps us understand that stuff. That's going to be there. So we're looking for dead soldiers. There's one here. And oh! He's resisting it. We wouldn't have access to all these powerful spells. It's not that easy.
They'll pay for this. You've done well. Sometime when you're not so busy, maybe you take a job with the Kinos Guard and we can fight alongside one another again. Take this information back to Mirar. Farewell.
Farewell to you.
Yes, these reports are disturbing indeed. I cannot place the source that tainted our beloved soldiers.
Agree, there's something behind all of this.
I can assure you that you will find out, though. In the meantime, here is a reward for your continued assistance.
So we found a better arm thingy there, so I'm ready to help now.
Ready to continue, eh? The dead soldiers were resurrected by something most evil and bent on destroying the colony. Recently, the wildlife on the island has felt the effects of the evil as well. I must get some samples from those creatures so that I can examine them more closely.
I could do that.
Thank you, but I have already sent a skilled hunter to do the job. Maybe you should check up on him, though, and make sure things are going well. He's been out in the tainted forest for a while now. Look for Shadur up the stairs on the north side of Sunset Meadow.
Will do. Cool.
Thank you for the help.
And so Vanilla has actually a compass, and you didn't have a mini-map. You had to consult your larger map here. And so you had to use compass for navigation and that sort of stuff. There's a lot of quality of life in this version that's currently here. Maybe you should go sit at the kitty table. Yo, this guy's job sucks. They gotta get their flexes where they can. Exactly. Alright, so we already have an eagle feather. Look at these guys. Hey guys, how's it going? Doing good? Once I get some more like loot and things like that, that's gonna give us some money. We'll show you. So these are all crafting things. These are all related to crafting stuff. The trees are used for a lot of different things. These wood. Creature dens are gonna be scrounging for things for cooking and like fruits and berries and such. So everything kind of, those little nodes feed into crafting in general. And I'll show you that in a bit. We're gonna see it, don't worry. The day is grim. Has this world lost all of its goodness and left us with a cold husk? I suppose you were sent by Marar, but my job has been halted. Easy there, all is not lost. I can help. Help was a word I didn't expect to hear, but I'm most likely beyond helping. See, I was sent here to collect samples from the wildlife that has become tainted, but on my hunt, I was ambushed by the nearby goblins. My bow and arrow were lost in the scuffle. Maybe I can find your bow and arrows. I'm sure my bow is in the hands of those tainted sap-swole tappers that ambushed me. I might try, but I don't expect much. I'm gonna talk to this lady, too.
Shh. I'm trying to listen to the silence. Whisper, please.
Listen to the silence?
Away from the noise over in the camp. I like standing here. You can see where you've been and where you can go. You know what awaits you if you go further in. If only everything were as simple as that, where all your choices are clear, and you can see what awaits.
The view's not so clear from here.
True, but it's clearer than, say, the difference between good and evil. All those around here who are good avoid me because I was born evil.
Ooh.
I grew up in Freeport. Does that make them better than me somehow? That I chose to leave Freeport to work on behalf of the Queen only recently? Who knows? Yet, I must be evil. I can sense the evil in others.
What evil do you sense?
They say that there is a taint rising from an unknown source, polluting this place and corrupting the inhabitants. I feel it is much simpler than that. There are spiders in the tainted forest, poisonous ones. With their venom, they can cause untold suffering. The search for evil sometimes has a mundane cause. We must rid the colony of these spiders.
I'll do what I can. Yep. So she thinks that the taint is coming from the spiders and their venom and stuff like this.
It's up to us to find the answers.
Back when I'm done with the spiders. So I gotta kill a sapswole for the guy for his bow. Oh, it did not do much damage. Fizzle. Interrupted. Not to interrupt. It's getting interrupted because I'm getting hit and that sort of stuff. Resisted. When we get to level 5 is when things start to get incredibly interesting. That's when you get to like do some heroic activities. There's this different combat system setup where you have you have the ability to he didn't have the bow, so let's fight some more. You have the ability to do these really interesting like combat effects where it wants you to do these certain moves to initiate a variety of different like a combo system using the moves that you have to create these epic effects. Yeah, they're combos. They're fantastic. And you would work with groups as well. So if you had other people with you, the combos become more complicated and utilize everybody's abilities. And they have to be done in a very specific order, but then the effectiveness of them is dramatically higher. And the effects of them are based on what class initiates it. There can be one of like a variety of different effects that happen randomly. None of these guys had the bow. Let's get this real quick. Oh, you did! Oh my goodness. I'd love to see that. That'd be fantastic. I played this both in the beta and on the retail release. We got the bow. Not the deer. Thank you. No worries, Sandra. Everything's kind of fizzling. Okay. But we got the Sapskull tunic. Let's see. We can't cure it. We can't use it, but we'll sell it, I think. I don't think the selling is a little off on this right now. It's currently kind of bugged. There are a lot of items that don't sell for anything for some reason. Wow, my bow. You did this for me? Maybe this day is not so bad. Maybe you found my arrows too. There were no arrows to be found. There goes the day again. What's a bow without arrows? The only good sticks I found to make arrow shafts are by that spider den. Let's go kill us some spiders. I had some as well that got locked out by, some screenshots and stuff that got locked out by, the hosting side of it way back in the day. You had to pay for it now to access the pictures. Do that. Gained a level. So the pile of sticks are what we're looking for. So we got a new spell. Again, we wouldn't have these in the vanilla version. Oh, it's a dot. Advanced Artisan Volume 3. So this is, if you see this, it gives you recipe books. So a whole bunch of different recipes now that I can make. And like, so this would be bronze stuff, working in bronze things. That give ourselves more powerful weapons and armor and stuff like that that you can make, or bags and stuff like this. Or spells and skill abilities, you know, so we can scribe that. We can learn that information now. That's everything. Cool. And then we'll just keep fighting these guys. Again, this isn't entirely how combat worked. Not the way that it would work typically. It wouldn't get interrupted so much, and that sort of thing. But of course, we also didn't have these kind of spells either. It didn't work like this in vanilla. It's very different. But they're working on it. All the while, we're also getting increases in our skills, just like we would in the original Everquest. So yep, so I've cleared out many spiders, and as a result, I found an unusual item. collect all this stuff too. So we got another crafting thing, which is cool. I'm gonna equip that ring too. So now we have, let's see. I need to examine the parchment scrap. Where did it go? Oh, did it not spawn into my inventory? Uh-oh. Hold on. Let's kill one of these dudes and see what happens. It's supposed to spawn normally. But again, there's lots of bugs. Lots of bugs. They're working on it. Huh. Okay. We're gonna log our character out real quick and log them back in. A lot of times what'll happen here is that it might pop up after we log. Like the information stays there. Again, just highlighting, again, this is still incredibly rough and in its incredibly early stages. As in, pretty much, they now have the tools and ability to make this thing actually work. And it's taken about a year for them to get this thing even, like, playable in this state. And then from there is them trying to build all the things. And so they rebuild a lot of the quests in the main cities, in Kinos and Freeport. So did I get the thing? Oh no. Hold on. Let's see my character. Uh-oh. There goes that quest. It's bugged into oblivion. So, let's give him his bow stuff and we'll see what happens. You do this for me again? I can punch these sticks into perfect arrows. You, my friend, have turned my eyes. It's a great day. I know we can beat the menace. You know, come to think of it, I did get a few small samples before I lost my bow. Why don't you take them back to Marar? Never go ahead. With your help finding my gear, you've shown that there is light in this dim hour. We will live to fight another day. Great. I'll bring it to him. So what, also, there was a glitch, a bug that I came across that is like, hey, the quest reward item didn't pop up. And when I get another quest reward item, the previous thing pops up. And the previous one comes into my inventory. It gets all wackadoo. Oops. Jump, little mouse. So I've been doing a lot of like testing for them, like QA testing stuff for it, just to help them, because it's worth it. So we pick the cloth hood. The samples, I'll need to consult with Mirren about them, but in the meantime, here's your reward. Come back to me later. Thanks. Okay, so let's see. I actually got the helm, so that is a bugged quest. Yeah, we aren't getting to continue that quest line then.
The samples have been examined and my worst fear has been realized.
I might be able to quit it and start it over.
Eating and controlling it. I suspect necromancy, but from whom?
Cool. Poisonous mist clings to the tissue, eating and controlling it. Guessing you'd like me to find out.
That I do. And is that the goblin leader, Chieftain Rex, is involved. He is the most powerful and influential figure to the goblins. Somehow or not, the goblins will follow the orders he demanded.
So they were going to find the chieftain of the goblins.
First things first, we need to break through to the goblin village. I have assigned this duty to cleric Mara Vane. Seek her out and see how you can help.
The Infamous. This is a quest that is notoriously bugged right now. I got it to finally work at some point. I don't know if it's going to stay that way though, so we'll see. It's a weird one. It's a weird one. I'm just checking this area. There's always a spawn of the collectibles here. I'm going to also show something else too. How much money do we have? We don't have much, I don't think. We got 3 silver. Okay. We could build some things. I might want to show off crafting, because I think it's just really cool. I think crafting is super cool, but let me go over here in this area here. So here's some cool stuff. Let's talk to Epic Wobble.
Why, hello there.
I love him.
I was just sitting here, waiting for the boat to Kinos.
Why are you going to Kinos?
Oh, I'm going there to meet my father. He dropped me off on this island because he was afraid our boat wouldn't make the trip. I begged him to stay, but he said he had urgent news for Kinos.
What was the news?
I'm not quite sure. He was in such a hurry that he never told me. Also, I may have been a little distracted by his ship. It was really amazing.
Why was it distracting?
Well, because it was underwater, of course. Have you ever seen a boat that runs beneath the waves? I certainly haven't. It was such genius. I spent the entire voyage inspecting it.
Go on.
I certainly hadn't planned on it falling below the surface. It's just another example of our curse, I suppose.
What curse?
Surely you've heard of the Wobblecog family curse of miscalculation. No? No. I suppose you haven't, have you? Well, it doesn't appear that the boat is here yet. I imagine I've got time to tell you about our curse if you'd like to hear it.
I'd like to hear it.
Very well. It began long ago in Akanon, when the king decided to hold a contest. It was grand. The king invited everyone to make a clockwork king, and the one that most resembled him would win.
Please go on. We'll test it.
Inventors were my ancestor, Tizik Wobblecog, and an ingenious but maligned tinkerer named Meldrath. They both submitted their designs, and after much deliberation, it was found that the Wobblecog plan provided a much more accurate interpretation of the king.
What happened then?
Tizik's clockwork became the royal doppelganger, of course, and Meldrath became infuriated. He placed a curse on my family that has lasted every generation from then onward.
That royal doppelganger became the official king of the Gnomes of Akanon. Do go on.
He cursed us with miscalculation. It's nearly driven my family to madness.
Sounds bothersome.
We are the most ingenious.
The music is just so loud.
We have truly inspired ideas, but cannot ever see them through to completion because we fumble some inane formula.
Sounds devastating.
Oh, it is. Take my father, for instance. We thought he had finally overcome the curse when he made that boat. Oh, it looked so beautiful, and was more complete than any other Wobblecog invention has been in centuries.
I see.
Then, as soon as we got it out in the ocean, it sunk like a rock. Who knew iron wouldn't float?
How'd you get here with the boat, son?
Luckily, my father had compensated for the curse. He knew something was bound to go wrong, so he completely encapsulated the boat, making it watertight, just in case something went awry. Sure enough, the moment she left the berth, the ticking top fell straight to the sea floor.
But it moved along the floor?
Oh yes. There were several waterproof whirligigs set up in a Flagnuvian configuration to displace the Meganominal Knocknards.
The Flagnuvian configuration to displace the Meganominal Knognards. I love Knognards. I see.
So, here I am, sitting on the dock with all of the extra parts. Huh? Oh, this seems to be a bit of a problem.
What's wrong?
I'm missing the extra parts that my father asked me to collect. Oh no, this is disastrous. I can't leave the dock because I'll miss the boat, and I can't go to Kinos without those parts. Oh, what am I going to do?
Gonna help.
You do that? For me? Oh, thank you very, very much. I'll stay here and ask the boat captain to wait for you to return, should he come. Now, I'm missing 3 parts, and I have no idea where they could be. I know they're on the island, somewhere.
What parts are you missing?
I'm missing a size 7 clunker, a copper-coated springer, and a triangle spinner. If you could find them and bring them to me, I'd be forever grateful.
I'll get right on it. So we got some information.
All the parts. I can't leave without them, and luckily the boat to Kinos hasn't showed up yet. Please, help me find all the parts.
I still need to get a size 7 clunker. Perhaps Epic lost it while getting a better view of the bay. I still need to get a copper-coated springer. If it's possible, Epic could have lost it over the side of the ship. And I still need to get a triangle spinner. Maybe Epic was trying to run from something and dropped it? So, the first one, let's just grab this little collection piece while we're here. And also, Bilges asks, does this server support /pizza? That's a great question. Let's see. /pizza. Loading. Oh, it just Googles pizza. It just Googles pizza. That's still not bad. Still not bad. Alright, so he may have dropped it from the boat. So let's go for a swim. There's a shark we're gonna avoid. So we're looking for any machine parts. Shark. Let's see if we can find it. So yeah, no /pizza. It just Googles it. Oh, there it is. That's our thing we're looking for. Some air. A little rat guy's swimming. Look at him go. He's so cute. A needle fang. Alright. So, we're gonna go down below and do some crafting, I think. Just to showcase what it looks like. Because I think it's very awesome, and I think that people need to see it, because I think it's so cool. It's super fun. So, normally this guy would give you a quest that would be like, hey, start making some basic things. It's not implemented. He'd also give you a basic crafting book, which you can buy, thankfully, which we're going to do now. So we got the wholesaler here. So Essentials 1, this is what it teaches you. So it teaches them basic spells. And then, let's see, what else does it give me? A whole lot of things. It gives us some weapon stuff, some tin things. And also some clubs and stuff. So what we'll probably do is build ourselves a little club right now. So buy that. Let's go see what it takes. Recipes. Okay, so that's a level 3. Those guys are bigger than what we can do. Let's go down to the bottom. Oh, I didn't read it, that's why. Subscribe. So we get like an elm club. Wait, that's level 1? Yeah. Let's see. Essentials. Nope. Okay, never mind. Trade skill level 1. There. So Elm Knotted Club. Let's see if they got any staves. No. So the club, what it needs is 1 raw elm, 1 rawhide leather, a lead cluster, and some sandpaper. Okay. So let's go gather those and build this thing. So we'll get the leather in the creature den, and we'll get the elm from the wood that we'll come across. It's gonna grab me a feather. Duck feather. I've got duck feathers already. We don't have a hawk feather. Let's put that in there. Alright. So there's roots, there's the bushes, that's for like food stuff. Roots are for like alchemy and things like this. in the creature den. Yep, that's what we're trapping. We didn't get anything, so we're looking for our parts right now. Rawhide leather pelt. Let me look at my recipes. So what I need is a rawhide leather pelt. Recipes. Yeah, rawhide leather. So we need a lead cluster and raw elm. We buy the sandpaper at the shop there. So silver elm, we got that. And now we need a tin cluster, which is not from the stones. It is from... There should be some unearthed ore. Here we go. You don't need a special item to do it. You're just now getting it. So we got loam. We don't need loam. We need tin, which is a little rarer to get from these. There we go. And then I think that's everything, right? Wait, raw elm. I got that already. Why does it say I do not? Cluster. Oh, I need a lead cluster. Shoot. I might not be able to get it here for that one. Let's see. Raw malachite. We could make something else. Roots, basic filament. Okay. Let's make something with tailoring then. We just hit root and a basic filament. Oops. Let's just find us some roots. I just want to make something. So how this game works is that with crafting is it's like a combat encounter. You have these skills and abilities that are going to affect these tiers of outcomes. You're gonna see it in a second. It will all make sense. Sort of. I'd hope at least. Bum, 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 bum. I love this music. I hear this sound a lot because I loved being a carpenter and just making stuff. I greet you. So we need a basic filament, right? Yeah, that one. That should be everything that we need for tailoring. So we go here. There's all these different crafting stations that do a bunch of different things. So this would be the tailoring crafting station. Tranquil threadbare cuffs. So yeah, we have all the things that we need. And so we begin. So, these things do a bunch of different stuff. These are the different tiers of quality. We're failing miserably right now. But we can just start putting our abilities in here. So these do different stuff, right? They might increase the quality, but also make it harder to have a success. And there's going to be these events that happen that'll pop up on the bottom here that are like, oh, something crazy bad has happened. And you have to address it with a corresponding ability, essentially. So right now I'm just kind of spamming this to keep our bar up here. Because once this goes away, we're only down to the third thing. If we were to complete this now, we only get the basic filament back. We lose the raw materials. And so we can actually work on trying to actually bring that green bar back up. And that can happen if we're skilled enough. We're increasing our skill right now, so we may not actually succeed at this moment, but we'll see how it goes. 1 second. That was a big success. So the blue bar is our progress. The green bar is the quality. This game would have been a lot bigger than WoW. And not come out, 2 weeks after, exactly. Oh, cow. You're telling me about it. Oh, shoot. I messed that up. So we're going to fail. It's going to be not great. It's good to see you, by the way, cow. How are you? We're playing a fan server right now. This is in its very early rough stages still, but it's a work in progress. And so essentially right now, all I'm going to be relegated to is getting my catalyst back. Yeah, and that's it. But we can try again. I need more leather to do so. Arguably better and more fleshed out in its vanilla state than WoW was, 100%. And it had so many interesting things that it was doing. You know, for instance, you know, it's player housing. You know, fantastic. And it's like use of language, and its faction system is far more fleshed out and interesting than WoW's was. Its use of language as a mechanic, far more interesting. Its crafting, far more interesting. Its lore and such, far more interesting. All of it, far more interesting. So let's get leather and just make our little cuffs. Let's see if we can actually succeed in doing so, at least. But it's just really interesting to be in a... but we'll also... Look, this is our crafting level right here. So you actually have levels in crafting. So you have a progression. And that gives you access to better things to make. While it was also brightly colored, cartoony, and accessible. That's the thing, is that it was... The hardware is its biggest boon for Everquest. Like, in a boon, no, bane. In that you had to have a really powerful computer to play Everquest 2. WoW, you did not at all. You didn't at all. You didn't have to do anything. That thing ran on potatoes. I mean, this stuff was all like real shadows and all this stuff. Yeah, WoW ran on potato, exactly. And yeah, here it's all, you know, complex textures and shadows and lighting and all this stuff. It was very I'm just getting meat. I would like some leather, please, so I can make these cuffs. How's it going, Goblin Dude? There's certainly reasons WoW won out. An alternate history in which WoW came out 2 years later would be interesting, though, with EQ having that lead time. Absolutely. But here's the thing, is that, like, Sony... There we go, we got some leather now. Sony botched Everquest, the license and development process for Everquest projects. They really did. They botched all of it. Because they thought, you know, they didn't believe in the original Everquest. They didn't understand what made it so special and interesting. And then they really tried to rush Everquest 2 and not understanding how to let MMOs breathe and grow. They botched Star Wars Galaxies repeatedly. And then let's not even talk about Everquest Next and Landmark. Let's, you know... Let's not talk about it. Let's just not talk about it. It's sad. Can I make the slippers instead? Let's make the slippers. Yeah, let's make the slippers. We're starting off great. So we pretty much spam these three things here. These ones are far more related to quality than they are about progress. These other ones here are more related to like increasing our progress while also decreasing the quality. It's like making it quicker. So we have frayed material, so we have to address it with binding. And we just gotta hope that we can salvage this. Oh, we had a critical failure. Yeah, that's ugly. Oh my gosh, we can't even get any progress on this thing. What has happened? Did that critical failure botch it? Is this a glitch? This looks like a glitch. Something has happened. There we go. That was ugly. That was a glitch in like their programming in house is displayed. Yeah, Sony had no concept of how to run an MMO and what to do with it, and it resulted in just an absolute failure. As you notice, we're about to run out of out of our mana for crafting, so we're gonna probably be relegated to just getting the filament back. But again, we're increasing our skill in this, so it makes actually crafting easier in the future. I just want to make something. Oh, we made our thing. Alright, never mind. Never mind. But yeah, so you would do that stuff, and then you'd have to get more advanced materials, which are in more dangerous areas. And you're making more powerful and potent spells for players, poisons, and status effect potions, and food, because food and drink is the thing in vanilla. It is not in this current iteration. They got rid of that. I like how EverQuest uses hunger and thirst, though, in reality, because I do think that it is manageable and interesting, at least, and puts some worth and value in food. But they don't, and it's also not incredibly punishing, if that makes any sense. So we're going to, I'm going to try something here. Let's go to requests, the one that's glitched. Tainted. Let's delete it. And try to get it again. Yeah, pop back up. So like if we look here, nobody's in here. Nobody's in this. If you are ever interested in wanting to test and want to help people in the preservation of EverQuest 2 and its ability to stay alive and archive and preserve its original state, which I think is one of the most important and valuable things that we can do for the industry. This genre in particular is dying over and over again in all of its iterations, being lost to time, and not being able to be playable in various states of its existence, which is, I think, incredibly valuable. Just go look up EverQuest or EQ2 Emulator. You can Google it, you'll find what you need. There are 2 different servers that are working on stuff, and so it's worth checking out. It's worth checking out really a lot. Yeah, we talked to this later already. We just had a glitch quest. I'll be back with the spiders. Please. I cannot wait for the day that this is actually, like, originally playable in its original state. Because I felt that vanilla was really good. It's resisting all my spells, blah, blah, blah. Dial on them incinerate. And just, I enjoyed how they did class progression and how they were tied into like story. That your character story and journey is part of the unique aspects of it are part of what class you pick and you decide to do, which is very different than how most MMOs do that sort of stuff. This is just an inspiring and engaging game in a way that's not common. I also love its lore. Its lore is awesome. And they give you lore dumps all over the place. We can teleport around in this too, so we might go browse some stuff too. It's very awesome. Eaten alive by spiders right now. Oh, there's 4 of them. We gotta run. Run! Whee! We pulled way too many. We're booking it. Whee! because I can always return here and do this again, because you have the ability to teleport, so I'm not too concerned about it. But I do want to show like some of the really cool stuff about this place. So for instance, we're gonna, I think once I get healed up here real quick, I'm gonna stay in here because the spiders are gonna come eventually. They typically do. How's it going? So when you like click on it, see this icon here, and it says your status is insufficient for this command. That's not normal. So what they used to be is that you could click on the guards and you type in the name of any character in the NPC, and it would create a light trail that show you where they are. That was kind of the role in this game. We're gonna go take a look at something. We're gonna go for a swim, just to show a very different thing in this. Another kind of quest that you can kind of do. Yeah, I got those big sharks, the big scary sharks. I'm gonna try to avoid them as best as I can. But I cannot promise this. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I'm gonna die. We'll die, but that's fine. Mod Wolf, how's it going? Not only is it EQ2 though, Mod Wolf, this is the EQ2 emulator. So there are attempts to keep the original state of the game alive. It's not in any way currently in its original state, but it's in the process. Will I survive this? I might survive this. Come on. Oh, I died. How are you tonight? So I've been testing the EQ2 emulator, and trying to help out with some of the botch, like the glitched and quest lines and things, sorts of things right now. They're in just the slow process of having to hand, and this all has to be done by hand. So they look at the guides, and they look at the maps for all the like NPC placements, and putting it in like Alakazam, old Alakazam archives and stuff like this, to find out where the NPCs were located, what kind of quests they did, if people uploaded the information, the dialogue of it, and like Alakazam and stuff, to get that information and then hand program this stuff into the game, which is a lot. That's a lot of work. Alright, I'm gonna try it again to show you this other quest. There's really cool things. So like, there's a lot of exploration quests in this game. There's a lot of stuff that you discover. And in this one in particular, under the water, there is this old statue to a long-time god. Wow, there's a name I haven't heard of in a long time. What's that, Kuno? Mod Wolf? Who? What now? Who's a what's it? Who's a what's it? Oh, look at that. There's a thing out here. What is this? What'd I get? Conch shell. And look, there's a boss guy, the Wolf. Alakazam was my jam back in the day. It's still around. It's still kicking. It is. Alakazam is still kicking, my friend. I'm gonna try to just power my way through here. 2 sharks on me. It's okay. We're just gonna get on land. We'll be fine. We'll survive, right? Right? No, I'm not gonna. It's not all right. Shoot, I'm so doomed. But here, there's a statue, and we're gonna get the quest. We found a statue under the waters that appeared to be of a lesser deity named Cydia. After reading the inscription chiseled on it, I feel a great need to make the waters around me safer. Ah, I didn't accept it. Anyways, you'd get that, and then you'd have to fight sharks to just appease this old and ancient god that you just, discovered this long-forgotten statue of. This lesser god. So we're gonna go into the city proper. There's a lot of little quest lines, but it's kind of more the same. Of just fight enemies, that sort of thing. But there's some really cool stuff that we can kind of see and discover by going into Kinos proper. So I'll show you guys what that's like. Again, this is all just kind of showcasing the stuff that people have achieved and accomplished already. So we talk to him.
So, you ready to go ashore, matey?
These places, not a thing.
You best be sure to explore. Yeah.
I mean, technically, yes. All of the zones that are in current Everquest are... Oh, sorry.
You best be sure to explore.
Yeah, take me to Kinos.
That's what we be.
Thanks.
Don't you mind. We get paid to do it.
To Kinos. Oh, wait, what now? I'm going to the outpost of the Overlord. Oh, did I... Is Ratonga's evil? Ratonga are evil. No. So it took me to outpost of the Overlord, the evil version. Similar, but not the same. Whoops. Whoops. Hold on. Let's, because I don't want to be the evil characters. Freeport doesn't have all the same stuff, I don't think, at least. It's just weird that it took me to the Queen's Colony. Okay, dude, take me to Freeport then.
You ready to go ashore? You best be sure to explore the whole. Yeah, that's what we be. Don't you mind? We get paid to do it.
Mod says, I only played EQ2 for a few months and swapped over to WoW. Like everybody did, right? It's a shame. This is fantastic, Mod Wolf. I cannot wait for the efforts of these people who are tirelessly working to recreate this game from scratch. To get the original gameplay loop of this back up and running. Because it is so interesting and so engaging. I don't know if the newbie zones in Freeport are here. So we're going to take a look and see. Travel in Freeport. Yeah, see, they got south. Yeah, it's not the same. There's a bunch of little districts and stuff like this that existed within here. Let's see if we can find them. Thieves Way. Okay, so the Temple Street and Thieves Way and that sort of thing are here. So they're still here. No, they are not. Is it up? Do I have to take the ramp up? Like, all of this is not. No. All of you. Not. You're not. None of you are vanilla. None of you are vanilla. Because this map is also very different than what is supposed to be here. Can I get to Temple Street? Let's see. Okay, we can get to Temple Street. You? None of you. None of you are vanilla. Oh yeah, you can't get. Yep. No. So we'll make a good character then to showcase this stuff. I didn't realize that because the Ratonga on this are listed as good, even though they're not. Crafting this is crazy fun, Mod Wolf. The player housing is absolutely phenomenal, and I always talk about its use of language to be really important. So like learning other people's languages, other races' languages and stuff like this to open up different quests and that sort of stuff. Getting XP for discovering locations and how its map system works. So we'll make a new character. Let's continue with the wizard line. There's delay in the audio. Really? Huh. I don't see anything on my end. We've been having lots of audio issues, and I don't entirely know what's going on with that. I don't see anything. Hello. Yeah. I see you talk, then it takes a second or two before it comes out. Weird. Huh. Oh. Let's see. Click, 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 click. I don't know. That's weird. It may be. It might not be. Oh, let's be a gnome. Let's random my little weird ass gnome. Look at him. Oh, he's so gross. There. Strofuko. Interesting. You get it at 480p.
Long ago,
So a
the
different bitrate.
ancient gods
Huh.
grew. Finally.
That's interesting. All right. Watch, we're going to do something really fancy here. Once this runs its course, we're going to warp ourselves.
Welcome to NORAD, the world. Yeah. Everquest 2 can be played in either a third-person view.
So watch, we
the
go.
first thing you need to know
Zone,
how to do is look
Queen's
around using
Colony.
the mouse. Hold down the...
So I can move anywhere I want to right now. And so we'll see some other weird zones and stuff like this. That aren't technically ready yet. We'll do it just for fun. And some that are. Sure. So we're just going to take the boat. Because I like the hustling buddy. Oh, good. It's fixed. Okay, good, Mudwolf. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know, though. I appreciate people talking about it.
You ready to go ashore?
Take me to
Be
Kinos.
short? Yeah, that's
That's
don't
right.
you mind. We get paid to do it.
To Kinos. Alright. So, ooh, the Baubleshire, is the Baubleshire available? It is. Awesome. Again, this is very different than in vanilla. It will be, they're working on getting the vanilla stuff working. So essentially what would happen is, you'd have a citizenship test now. You'd have to prove your worth to Kinos that you are a valuable member of society, do this certain quest line, and then to get your citizenship, and then you would go on the path to work towards picking a more defined version of your class. Instead of just being a spellcaster, you're now picking wizard, mage, and that sort of stuff. But let's talk to folks. Hey, Noom.
Hello, hello. Good day to you. How are you doing, my friend?
Horrible.
Can't win them all, I suppose, but even an upset provides ample opportunity to learn.
I suppose so.
Learning is what I've structured my life around. Really, most gnomes I know tend to thrive on the thrill of discovery. It's just naturally exhilarating, wouldn't you say?
Sure, I guess.
Learning is useful for us all. Heck, I'm sure I can teach you a lot. What do you say? Care to learn something?
What can you teach me?
Well, I can teach you a lot. At least I hope I can. But if I can't teach you, maybe you can teach me. Great how that works. The first thing I'd like to teach you is the importance of not losing sight of things around you, even when you're trying to focus on something very specific.
Sounds complicated.
This is a lesson most gnomes never learn, so it's best you get an early start on it. Specifically, in my life at least, it applies to tinkering. The thing is, my ultimate goal when it comes to my clockworks is to make them as realistic as possible. So when I'm tinkering away, what do you imagine the first thing is I lose sight of?
The thing after which you're modeling the clockwork basically needs complex math.
Precisely. More than anything else, I tend to forget about my target model, and that's a huge mistake.
Why is it so important?
Well, think about this. If you wanted to carve an orange out of a block of wood, how hard would it be?
Not very hard.
What if you wanted to carve a compartmental snafu?
Oh, what?
Precisely. If I want to make a better clockwork rat, I need to study rats.
Hesh.
If I want to make a better clockwork
Woo!
wolf, I need to study wolves. If I want to make a better clockwork gnome, I need to study gnomes. If I want to make a better clockwork pineapple, I need to study pineapples.
I would love a clockwork pineapple right now.
Genius? I know. I'm sure it can be done. But pineapples aren't the point here. The point is to make a point. Get it?
No.
The point is, if you lose sight of all but your creations, you may forget what you were trying to create in the first place. For some, this is acceptable. For others, like myself, it is to be avoided at all costs. Because of this, I study people. I'm studying you right now. And in the end, it helps me in all aspects of my life.
I think I get it now.
Good. Getting things is most excellent. Speaking of getting things, I need you to get something for me.
Huh?
Metal, my good gnome, metal. The prices have been on a steady rise as of late, and while I can afford it, I am a gnome who enjoys the finer things in life, such as cheap or free metal. That's where you come in.
Am I supposed to learn from this?
Why, yes. It is vitally important that you do this task in order to expand your horizons. The Baubleshire is absolutely overloaded with scrap metal. We've got more than we know what to do with. Despite that, the brokers are charging outrageous amounts of coin for refined metal. Unfortunately, it means more work for me, but I'm going to need you to search the Baubleshire and collect some scrap metal for me. What do you say?
Sure, I'll do it.
Great! The metal itself can be found all around the Baubleshire. Bring it directly back to me once you've found enough.
All right. How's it going, Hash? What you been up to, my friend? It's good to see you. Happy Easter and all that jazz. Don't forget to check in the water. Any water? No. Any in here? No. The Baubleshire proper, probably. Playing Hades. How is Hades going, my friends? Are you kicking butt? Are you winning? Are you winning, son? So, we are in the Baubleshire. There's some scrap metal. Look at this. This is a place outside, or a part of a suburb of Kinos that's home to like the gnomes and the halflings and these sorts of things. Hey, Marshall.
Stand stout! Forgotten guardians are no match for a Leatherfoot! Ha! Greetings, adventurer. I can tell you're a fearless warrior.
I am not. So we got these little places. So here's our map. And so this is that of the Baubleshire. It's a little... This is a tavern. So, no escapes yet, but giving Dad a run for his money the last couple times. Very nice, Hash. Indeed. And say Happy Easter, Jackie. How's Jackie doing? I hope she's doing okay.
Welcome to the Deep Mug Tavern. I'm Dragon. Talk to me if you want to lift a pint. Now, what are you drinking? Welcome to the Deep Mug Tavern.
I got it.
Dragon, and I'm the guy
I'm looking for work.
Is that so? Then why don't you do me a favour? Those look like some nimble feet you got. You can deliver a basket of food for me.
Delivered where?
I prepared a picnic basket for Yola, and I need it delivered to her at the little lake. You'll find her at the lunch spot. I'll spot you a few coins if you're quick on your toes. Off with you.
Okay. Deliver a thing. So, this is the Baubleshire. This, by the way, this tavern, so way back in the day, the Deep Mug Tavern, when I was a youth playing Everquest 2, I remember coming in here, and inside here was an ogre. They were evil. They had to do a lot of work to get into Kinos. You had to escape Freeport, and then prove your worth to Kinos to gain citizenship. And it was a lot of work to do so. And so I came in here, and there's an ogre sitting here, and I was chatting with them. And I was telling stories of this adventure that I had with my friend who I had met in the game, who was a froglock, and all the stuff that we were doing. I was a bard character, and they were very much enjoying this. And it's very nice, because this is my last day playing the game. And like, I'm moving on to WoW, and like, I really appreciate the story. I'm going to miss this place, but all of my friends have left to play WoW. And I don't have anyone to play with anymore, so I'm just going to go. And I was like, oh, this is really sad. And very indicative of just everybody.
Greetings, traveller. Is there something I can get you today? To the next one. Greetings, traveller. Won't you join me for an ale?
Tapster, I got you. Believe me, you all sound like Tapster. Don't bother me, I'm drinking.
Greetings,
it's so sad to see that poor dude. It was so sad to see that poor guy leave. What was the next big thing? And that's the thing, it happened instantaneously.
Hello there. Isn't this a lovely spot? It's not the Vale, but I was too young to really remember much when we left anyway.
Here's your food
Oh,
order.
I'm so glad you didn't forget. That Regan, he's always doing the right thing at the right time. And thank you for delivering it. I'm starving.
Enjoy. Return to Bregan, get our money. Hi, Bregan.
Greetings, traveller.
Greetings, traveller. Deliver the picnic basket.
I hope she enjoys her lunch. I gave her my best breads and cheeses. Makes me hungry thinking about it. Oh, as promised, here's your coin.
Thanks, Bregan. So we got some food and drink. And some money. Which we need a bunch, because I want to rent a room at some point.
Oh, what brings you to the fair Vale of Baubleshire? Seeking a bit of merriment among the stouts?
Indeed. There's gonna be a person, I think here, they speak halfling? Are you? Yeah. They speak a different language. I don't know that language. So how do I find that language? We're gonna go over here and glitch the game, because it's a current glitch that I discovered. That's armor and weapons. Let's see. Combat arts. That's gonna lead back into the city proper. Love to speak with me, but I'm a little busy. Let's see. I loved them too. They were so fantastic. The Keynote Exchange. This is the bank, right? Yeah, banker, housing, the bowyer.
Is there something I can get for you? Do you need extra towels or?
So you can buy stuff for your buy little things for your housing here. Do I need extra? Yes, I do. What can I use my house for? You learn about housing. Yay, housing. I'm trying to find the place where you learn languages. So we don't know the language. Huge following for Warcraft, and back then Blizzard could do no wrong. All their games were top notch. Yeah, absolutely. It was the IP is what did it the most, I think. The IP definitely had a major factor in this. So we gotta go up here into that area, I think. Absolutely, Kuno. Is that gonna take me to the forest ruins? Okay. I don't go to the forest ruins yet. That's for hunting. Not quite there yet. Let's get our scrap metal for the one dude though. It absolutely did. And what is an absolute shame is that very particular things like that absolutely affect people. And that's the thing also, that Everquest had like really successful PlayStation 2 games that people loved, that are really fantastic and very engaging and interesting. And it had Everquest Online Adventures, which was very successful as well, bringing an MMO, like a true MMO, to the console market. All incredibly successful. So, you know, it wasn't like it was that Everquest was chopped liver. It wasn't. It's just that you couldn't stop it. And it's what's so weird about MMOs in general is that that's the risk of MMOs. He's looking for treasure. That's the finicky nature of MMOs. So Modwolf, it currently crashes it. But they do plan on eventually getting it back in there. It does crash things right now, but it is planned to be returned to Modwolf. A lot of things crash this game right now. A lot of things. Hi guys.
Well, hello, adventurer. Come hither. You must help reveal the truth about the wonders in the forest ruins.
The wonders of the forest ruins.
Greetings. Looking for a fast carburetor or perhaps a metamorphic navigator?
Do you need something?
I see my superior intellect confuses you. Don't worry, it perplexes many people. It is the curse of the Tin Misernae. However, I can use your help, or even simple minds contribute to the greatness of Keynote. You must venture into the forest ruins. Tavern tales claim the remnants of the Magi Tower of the Order of Three exist there. You must reveal the truth of this mystery.
Find the Mage Tower then. It's for level 10, but I'll find the Mage Tower. It's fine.
I simply love this view.
I do too. Woo! So yeah, I don't know where to get the stuff for learning the languages to be able to talk to those guys. I don't remember exactly where it is here. But there's a bunch all over the place. And those will give you new quests. And also get you, like, information about stuff. And sometimes it even gives you books that'll be, that are decoration for your home. And player housing and stuff like that. Let's turn this quest in. It's got player housing working. So that was a big thing that they just recently got like up and running and working properly. the mechanics for it and everything.
Really?
They have.
I hope you learned a valuable lesson. I'm learning too. Gullibility is an important aspect that I had previously completely ignored when trying to design clockwork logical applications. Working with you is really great, by the way. Working with gnomes and understanding them can help you understand your own creations better. There is far more to tinkering than straight mechanics.
How so?
Well, logic and practicality are the basic reasons that drive a machine's existence. If you break gnomes down, we're really only made up of logic and practicality too. I know it sounds weird, but I think it will eventually lead to my own breakthrough. Maybe it'll be bigger than Noggin Spark.
Noggin Spark?
It's good that you don't know the name. It means he's keeping out of the public eye.
But who is he?
Noggin Spark was once a resident of the Bobbleshire. Like myself, he was very interested in making his creations more and more lifelike. Unlike myself, he spent most of his time studying rats. This really started to creep out the citizens of the Bobbleshire.
I have Mudwolf. I've learned. I know about the EverQuest Online Adventures server, absolutely. I applied to work in building the quests and stuff for the game, and then they ghosted me. But I am very excited to see what happens there. In that instance, the major problem that they have there is I don't think they have access to any of the dialogue. I don't know if there's an Alakazam for it. There might be, actually, but I don't know. They don't think they have access to any of the words.
Noggin Spark wasn't very keen on social politics, but it wasn't. I'm quite busy. I'll be free in just a moment or two.
We're talking. Give too much room.
He left, disappeared, just before his greatest breakthrough ever, the Noggin Spark reactor. Those of us that knew him well tried to replicate his work with no success. We don't know how far along in his work he was, but when he disappeared, so did the promise of the Noggin Spark reactor. It's an amazing device. No bigger than the thumb of a half-elf, it can produce far more power than any other device of its size. It won't save the world, but it does have a great number of uses. Anything that is small and needs power is best served by a Noggin Spark reactor. Like I said, Noggin Spark and I were somewhat close. In fact, and don't let anyone know this, Noggin Spark is still very much alive and well. He didn't like the effect he had on the townspeople, so he fled into the catacombs. But at the same time, he wanted his device to do good. A few weeks after he disappeared, we started noticing more rats in the Bobbleshire. These rats were the key.
How so?
They were the vessels through which Noggin Spark would
Interesting.
transport his reactors to other tinkerers. Rats are annoying, but this was no plague, so most people ignored them. As it turns out, these weren't rats at all, merely very well-crafted replicas. Some of Noggin Spark's finest work. And each rat is powered by a Noggin Spark reactor. He sends them on a regular basis, and we collect them. He really is a philanthropist.
That's amazing.
Yes, it is. What I'd like you to do is collect some for me. I use them in a number of gadgets, and nobody has figured out how to create them yet. This is why we rely on Noggin Spark to send more. There are plenty of his rats in the Bobbleshire. They usually hang out near the entrance to the catacombs.
Okay.
Just knock those false rats senseless and remove the reactors. Get 7 of them for me, if you would be so kind.
Dangerous, yeah.
They shouldn't be too much of a problem. Remember, they hang out near the catacomb entrance.
Cool. Grab some more. Catacomb entrance. Yeah, so... I don't know, man. There's just something super special. You're just a normal rat. You're a normal rat, though. Noggin Spark was this way, I think? Yeah, there they are. I should be able to kill. We'll see if I can kill them or not. Let's see. They're not groups, right? They are not. Yeah, we should be able to kill them, no problem. Because we skipped the whole, like, intro island for this particular instance. Getting some gold off of them, which is nice. Alright. again, none of this experience here is true to the original yet. They're still very much working on getting a lot of the vanilla quests are here. So that stuff is still there's still vanilla quests here that they put in, but there's a lot of the stuff that is not the new game experience. Yeah, so Model, yeah, there were groups that you couldn't split. Absolutely, but then you had to it placed a bigger influence, though, on the spells that would be more crowd control and management. But I do agree it's very different in that regard. But I think that was them seeing how people were pulling enemies and finding ways to alter that. So that way they could place a bigger importance on crowd control, having that be a more vital aspect to it. You could still pull enemies that weren't brute, that wouldn't grab aggro and other things as it ran through, but it was different. It was a very different experience. Definitely played very differently. We'll get the link real quick. And then I want to, with the money, rent out a room. W from all these things, so I can show you the player housing stuff and see if it works. They say it does. I hope it does. Go. 2 more. Where's this guy? There he is. It's such a shame. And like the Everquest 2 that we know now is it's far more removed from even the stuff that we're experiencing currently in this emulator. How it behaves and the things that it does. There's so much stuff that is very different. So, for instance, like everything is fast travel, but it's instantaneous fast travel in the modern Everquest 2, and there's a much heavier emphasis on like, hey, AI mercenaries, but you have to pay like real money for most of them, you know, and they even had a feature to allow for players to make custom dungeons. What is this, 2022? How's it going, Abel? It's good to see you. Yeah, fast travel for everything, but like instantaneous fast travel across the entire continent. We're not talking like, you know, they had Griffin Towers that you could take that would let you travel from, you know, throughout the world a little quicker, but at very specific places. And like that stuff's fine. There's more contextual fast travel. Here, it's like there's a bell that you ring or a globe that shines. You click on it, and you can go anywhere you want.
Do you have the reactors? Oh, magnificent. I do appreciate this. Really, I do. Quickly now, don't think about halflings.
Halflings?
You thought about halflings when I said that, didn't you? It's a new technique I'm working on to help gather data about people. Raw data.
2-day shipping.
Nothing but the foremost thoughts on the brain.
It's the Amazon of
That's why
MMOs.
it's got to be quick. Oh, it works wonderfully. I bet you're still thinking about halflings. You seem interested. How would you like to help me collect some data?
Sure thing.
Great. Go and ask all of the questions to Drundo in the tavern, Remo, who I think may be hiding out in the eastern hills of the Baubleshire, and Filzer, who was also in the eastern hills last I saw him. Keep in mind, the answers aren't the only important things to note here. Sorry, here they are. Ask the questions rapidly once you start. Keep their answers fresh. Also, and this is also very important, you must write down the very first word in their answer. With that information, I will be able to determine what is on their mind specifically, and whether or not they're actually understanding the question.
Strange. Why not, right? You get the Noggin Sparks Wondrous Tinkerdoodle for doing this.
Strange, but probably not surprising. Now get started.
Oh, Mojito, thank you. Thank you, my friends. I'm gonna get some water. Let's get into the player housing real quick. I think I can afford it. Here's the questions. It's very important these questions be asked in order and that none of them are skipped. Again, please remember the first word in each person's answer. Question 1. If you were to calibrate a Fizzo torque wrench for work in Lava Storm and then attempt precisely the same in Everquest, what difference of calibration would be needed? What's the average measurement between keen and preen on a spectromatic nest driller? Etc., etc. Isn't Neezer Grund amazing? Alright, let's see if we can... This is just the tavern, right?
Greetings, traveler. Is there something I can get?
I hear you, traveler. Greetings, traveler. You gotta remember where the...
If only I could make heads or tails of this book.
Oh, this, That's the exchange. Is housing in here? The housing might be in here. I think it's up here. Yeah. Oh, it's 5 silver. Oh, price is 0. Okay, good. What? Okay. Okay, game. I think you need to pay the upkeep is what it's saying. So I don't have enough yet for it. Let's sell some stuff.
Found it! Where did I put that ledger? It must be around here somewhere.
None of this stuff is buyable. Ugh. Because their whole shop thing is all messed up. I'm gonna go do some hunting. Just for fun. And then we're gonna explore a little bit of the weird places. So we're just gonna go into the forest ruins. A great newbie hunting ground zone, which I very much enjoy. I spent a lot of time here when I played. Because I was always like halflings and gnomes and, you know, weird little guys. Oh, this place is very cool. So, there's a giant castle here. There's the wizard tower, mage tower that I need to investigate. And that'll take me to the Willowwood. And so, lots of enemies to fight in here, lots of little guys. But they're all a little higher level than me, but I got the spells, I'll be okay. And then there was like the big stuff, like you could summon this big evil creature, this big elemental thing in the tower itself. Badgers. And so yeah, I would always kind of hang around the outskirts of this stuff and talk to everybody and get quests and do stuff. The badgers. This is big castle here, which is very cool. What I'm gonna do though is go into the weird places. The places that aren't supposed to be here yet. That aren't necessarily done. Oh crap. Hold on. We're running. I didn't realize there's a thing there that aggroed to me. Run! I'm gonna go into the castle from below. Looks like there's a bound watcher. Because swimming is a valuable tool. Again, the thing that makes Everquest so interesting is that they use water. There's a verticality to their exploration. There's a whole lot of facets to it that make it far more interesting and engaging than just this weird linear exploration of quests that just take you from one place to the next. Also, collections are fantastic and I love them very much. Bone Fragment can be used for the Bone Fragment collection or the High Elf Bone Fragment collection. Hidden tools. So I'm guessing there's a quest that we'll have to do to find that. So let's look at a zone. Let's see. Zone list. Let's see. Plane of War. Personal Planetarium. So we can zone into... I don't think that this is in vanilla, the Plane of War. But let's go see. Let's just go jumping around. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This isn't vanilla. I don't think this is vanilla. These things won't attack me. Of course they won't. Let's go see what this is like. Why not? Oh, look at that. There's a mob called 19492. Yeah, these are level 100. That's not. Vanilla's 50. 50's the max. But it's still funny to be able to just explore these places. Just because. Look at you. I'm absolutely terrified at you, the enraged warboar, but you're just a little guy. You're not gonna hurt me. I just want to get all the way up there. There's something up there. Dramatic music. Over there. Ooh, Artisan of War. I'm going up the hill though. We're gonna see what's up here. Zone list. Let's see. Let's see the dragon. Lair of the Dragon Queen. Ooh, Velius Cobalt Scar Dragon. Let's see. Zone list. Let's look up lair. Is there more? Lockjaw's lair. Grimgash's lair. Majolni's lair. There's lots of layers. Making our way up. This is my jam. I love like just exploring these places that are fully implemented. Of course they're not, you know, but there's like just these little mobs or information that's placed in them. But they have no attributes to them. They have no routines. They don't do anything. And look at this. DPO Invisible Cube. That's probably a trigger. From walking in here, then it triggers an event. This is a big raid, I'm guessing. Things are supposed to happen as you do this. And of course, not at all vanilla. None of this is vanilla! You're all not vanilla. Because the gods had abandoned the place. The plains, they're empty. Plane of War Sphere. Yeah, Relosek. Let's go see hi to Relosek! Let's see. Zone list Mischief. Is Mischief in here? No. There's Relosek. How's it going, buddy? You doing okay? Look like you're relaxing. You enjoying your vacation? You're very tall. I just want you to know that. Let's see. Zone list tower. Let's see. Tower for the Shadow, Astronomer's Tower. Kern's Tower. Let's go to Kern's Tower. Zone 432. There's Relosek. That's cool. Let's see if Kern's Tower. This is an EverQuest 1 classic place that I've never been to because I'm a weirdo. Any mobs here? Hello? Kern's Tower is very big and beefy here, it looks like. To wander around these partly complete emulators to me, like seeing Grandpa drunk or something. Cow, there is one person on the server right now. Cow, and that is me. That's what we got. Can't get in there. But there are people that are working on this stuff. They are typically working behind the scenes on building quests and NPC placement and that sort of stuff. And again, trying to get things running for private servers for people to make it the way they want it to, with an intent of making a vanilla experience as well. So yeah, like the zone, it's empty. There's nothing in it. It's completely empty. It's pretty though. Okay, let's see, zone list. Let's see. Butcher block. Zone 108. It's very surreal, and I very much love it. It's terrifying and slightly sad and remorseful. It's lost, you know. You're looking behind the curtain. And I very much love it. I love it so much. Because I'm like never going to be able to see those places. I'll never get high enough where I'll be able to see them. Ooh, look at this. This is pretty. So yeah, the Farsi's Trading Company. There's Garwin. So this is later stage stuff. This is later stage Everquest 2. Garwin isn't a city that you could normally go to in vanilla. You can't go there. It's not a thing. It is in more modern Everquest 2. It's like one of the starter cities. Gotta climb up, right? Just technically a quest here. Schmitty! See the enemies. Oh, this is, I guess, it might have been vanilla. I actually have no idea if this was in here, because I don't remember a lot of this. A lot of this is still very new, but yeah, so this is a little 22 stuff. Let's see what we find. I love this aspect of things, of just being able to poke around and look at things, because there's some places that, like for instance, zone list, GM Hall and GM Pet Cemetery. GM Hall, it leads you into blackness, it's darkness, but we could always go see what the GM Pet Cemetery is. I've never been. Yeah, none of this stuff is entirely coded in. Look at the app snarls. Look at them. Hi guys. How's it going? You guys are looking cute. I enjoy the frothing. The drool is very delectable. Thank you. You guys are doing great. Keep it up. Aviax. Oh, Craig. I'm sorry. Yeah, so this would be in Felwith. This was an expansion. It must have been an earlier expansion that added Felwith. Or Feed, or whatever it is. You know, the elf place. Let's go see. Hold on. Let's go zone 823. The GM Pet Cemetery. Oh, it didn't work. Oh, did it? Oh, is it going? Let's see what GM Pet Cemetery looks like. The GM Hall of Pets. Hello. Does in fact lead to a place. Hello? Whoa. Hold on. What's in here? It's just a building. Just an old Baubleshire kind of place. That old halfling place. The GM Hall of Pets. Hi guys. All the fire dudes. Ooh, look at you guys. Fiery Magician 6 Apprentice. Ooh, Earthen Avatar 2 Apprentice. So is that all the different ranks of the pets and what they look like? Interesting. Strange. There's a spot over here. This is like a big island. This is a big ass island. I think they took a zone that already existed. This looks like it's the Misty Thicket. It looks very Misty Thickety. And because of the look of the map too, that it being Enchantlands and Rivervale, obviously. That's what it is. That's the wall. Yeah, this is absolutely Misty Thicket. Is that actually a zone? Let's see. Misty. Oh, Misty. No, But that is what this is. It's the remnants of the Misty Thicket. Weird. Okay. Zone list HQ. McScroogle HQ. South Kinos. Emerald Halls. XP03 region. Emerald Hills HQ. Let's see what that leaves me. 689. It's so strange just to go and just resuming around right now. Describe me in the zones table is the name of this. Nice try. That's not implemented yet. Yeah, we say that. What is this? Weird. Hold on. Yeah, I think that's like just a player housing place. Zone list. Unknown. Is there one for that? No. Zone list. Oh. Zone list. Let's see. Ooh, let's do Nectulos. Zone 179. Let's go to Nectulos. See if I can survive here. Essentially, this is because there's places where you can easily fall through things, or zone into a place and it's just a black void. So like they have just people who are in this condition do that stuff. They can just zone wherever they want to, because why not? Right now, again, incredibly early state, and they're working diligently in attempting to get everything up and running to make it be something that can be released. This is like a pre-alpha. It's still incredibly early. It's a project that's been 2 years in the works, but it's one that also is let's see, can these things kill me? No. One that's so many it's been 2 years in the works. Lots of people have been working diligently on this stuff, but it's not something that comes super easy. They have to build it from the very ground up. And the legality of these things, you can't just take the code. You have to build the code yourself. Otherwise, it will absolutely get taken down. It'd be a really big issue. And so you have to be very careful with this stuff. So everybody's working super hard on trying to make this be something that can hopefully stay around and be a thing for people, and give people the tools to be able to make their own custom content within these worlds, and also for people who want to keep it a very vanilla experience, the original experience. This is a thing that is still probably like years and years out. Ooh, a Quetzalcoatl. Years and years and years out. The Golthex. So, to even think that it's close to being available, it's not. But if people want to work on it, the tools are there, at least. To be able to make your own quests, to place your own NPCs and these sorts of things, and change things. A massive megalith. What a wild place. Where are we right now? Okay, there's Neriak. Again, Neriak is, in the modern day version of this game, the Dark Elf starting town. Or not Dark Elf starting town, like one of the evil classes starting town. You don't go to Freeport. You go to either Neriak or Garwin. That's like the two places that you either start in as being evil. The original map is literally, let's see. Wow. It's not even remotely right. I guess Karan here. So this zone, this series of zones here. This and this minus the Neriak. You take Nectalos, a boat from Nectalos to get to the Thundering Steps. And, yeah, so it was all this, and then all this. That was almost it. There's still some other things. I've been thinking about a lot about archiving games. As ownership becomes more rare, it's important to find and keep stuff in your original condition. That's the thing, Wilkie. I'm with you 100%. And that's becoming more and more of a driving force for me, just in general as a person, that I think it's incredibly important that we preserve and archive this stuff so that we can capture these games in those evolutionary states. MMORPGs are one of the few instances of a genre that is victim to just being lost for good. You know, not having access to these games anymore, them being considered like a service. And we're seeing it more and more of this stuff just disappearing. Rolling release, exactly. It's a rolling release, but it's also like they change the gameplay. Stories may evolve over time, and all that stuff gets muddled and lost. So let's see. I need to find out where the boats are. The boat's on the west side. Oh, it's down there. That's where it is. Let's see if the boats are working. I'm curious. And so yeah, it's so important for us to be able to preserve these things, because the game companies are not going to do so. They aren't. They don't. They don't see a purpose or point to that. Why? They have a new, more valuable thing. Why would they need... I don't think I'm supposed to be able to get up this high and get up to here. I'm arguing a rare book right now. That's absolutely fantastic. We need to do more of that in the world. That stuff is vital. This stuff's not out there. So like when Nick and I have been doing the Literate Pixel podcast, we're scanning some of the books that aren't available on the Internet Archive to get them out there. Buy them up. Go archive them. So that way that people have access to them. Because they don't. Big spooky river. Neck feeder. Yeah, so the evil side of things is not well taken care of here yet. They don't have a lot of that content available. All these NPCs aren't, you know, they aren't reacting to anything. They don't have any walking patterns. They don't have any routines. They don't have any aggro stuff. They're not built for interaction just yet. On the good side of things, there's a lot. There's a lot of stuff. So like it's not all for naught. So Kinos and those areas have lots of enemies and NPC routines, and a lot of it's fleshed out and ready to go. Freeport is not even close. A lot of the zones aren't in there. The newbie zones aren't in there at all. So what happened typically in the original version, you had these suburbs of the cities for the refugees of all the different races, and that would be like your starting city. You know, it was like a little place where you did a lot of quests, introduce you to all the different suburbs, and introduce you to all the different types of players, and easy access to meet with other characters of your class, or your race and stuff like this, and all the other good races. But then they decided that people didn't like there just being two, so they're like, you know what? You don't have access to Freeport anymore. You don't have access to Kinos anymore. Those are gone. Goodbye. You now have Neriak. You have Garlwyn. Those are your evil starting cities. Very far away from each other. Very difficult to meet up. But it's not really, because you have instant fast travel. And then good races. Nothing here. Sorry. Everfrost. Or no, it's Aerolis? This is, I think, the place where you'd have your starting thing there. And then in Fadewar, you had... Fadewar? Kelethin. Something like that. There was a bunch of good cities. And like those were your places where you started. They weren't as interesting. They didn't unify the player base. And I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird. I have a lot of weird, complicated feelings, but I feel like in EverQuest 2 Vanilla, there's a very different expectation on how you play the game. And that got thrown out the window because, WoW was different. WoW was different, so we're going to do things differently too. And change to conform to those ideas and those different ways we play. So it's just so fascinating to see how everything warps and changes. Like, for instance, in the original EverQuest 2, when you got gear, so say I have the wizard staff here, right? If I wanted to, it's level 1. You can see it has a level. If I wanted to, that can be my weapon through the entirety of the game. It can go up levels as I use it and become more powerful, and it levels with me. Your equipment and gear level with you. So you don't have to rely on the need to grind for better and better gear. Hi guys, nice to meet you. Pirates. Let's see what they do for the boats. Dralix. And so yeah, the stuff levels with you. It's really interesting. There's a equipment progression system. So for people who want to emphasize combat, you can progress. Look at you. You're a pretty boy. Hi. What you doing out here? What's a crazy demon dude doing out here in a place like this? You good? Dralix? You good? And crafting has a progression system. And so everything has this really interesting progression to them that makes it interesting and unique, but that stuff gets thrown out the window for other things. I have a token, don't I? I do have a token. Do they have the gambling working? I don't think they do. Oh, he's the vendor. He's the one who sells the tokens. Okay, let's see if I can actually take the boat. No, of course not. Not anymore. You don't take boats. Now there's just this. Voyage through Norath. So now I can just go... See, this is what they use for in the modern version. Here's all the zones in the game. And here you go. I want to go to the Great Divide. I don't know what that is. Let's go. And this is how you would navigate in the world in general. Like in modern EverQuest 2, that's what you do. You double click the world thing, travel to any zone you want to. Go for it. And what would happen is, it was the ultimate theme park. So for instance, we're going to go to the Great Divide. And what happens is you get here, there's a guy who will give you a quest here. And then it's a linear quest system. He gives you a quest, you do it, leads you to the next guy, it's a quest, and there's a little story. All of them are little stories that are going to then be, when you're done, when you finish the story, you've completed the adventure, now it's time to move on to the next place. And that's all it is. So it's like, hey, there's an ancient evil here ready to rise up. Only you can stop it. Gather the information. Speak to our contact. You speak to them. They learned about this and this and this. Follow up on this lead. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. We need to gather these materials to stop the evil from being resurrected. You do that. All right. The ritual's going to happen now. Let's go stop it. You do. Or you fail, and the evil resurrects itself, and then you kill it. Then you come back. Hey, great job. Move on to the next zone. It's like, that's not interesting. That's not engaging. And that's how modern EverQuest plays. Whereas the old one, like let's just zone Antonica. So if you leave the city of Kinos, zones aren't clear delineations of level. There's much bigger zones, like Antonica's huge. It's an enormous zone with a lot of things for a lot of different players and level types. But there's also stuff within the city of Kinos, in like the underbelly of it, that's for a variety of different levels. So essentially there's a lot of content that is peppered out in not a linear fashion for levels from 1 to 50 that are just all over the place in the best way possible. So this is Kinos. We're out in Antonica right now. It's currently in Kailong Plains. Travel within Kinos. So we can go to all the different places here. And again, they don't have all the suburbs and stuff aren't totally visible. So Antonica is a big zone. It's giant. The zone line's right about here where you go into the Thundering Steppes further south. That's where the harbor is, where you can get to other places. But there's really cool stuff in here. So yeah, this place is pretty thoroughly done right now. Okay, can I help you? He's a quest guy for something later.
Hail, adventurer. I must warn you that Coldwind Point is not the safest place. Most of the garrison is on the march, and the gnolls have been sighted nearby. I cannot guarantee your safety.
You might know that voice. I should be fine, thank you for the warning. Yep, the Dark Paws are there. And they'll attack on sight. So these guys all have their routines now. They got all the stuff they're doing. And they'll be aggro, all that jazz. Oh, that viper. Oh, rats. The Overland Woodcutter. Chip Shard Channeling. Add to the collection. The Chip Shard Collection. Oh, look at that. The Grand Prankster. Planar Manifestation. That's not normal. And so you can take the griffins that take you different places. I'm curious if the griffin stations actually work. I haven't tested them yet, so we'll see. This is the only time I'm going to stream this, by the way, because I was like, oh, I got time. Everybody's in bed. It was a really long and crazy day. And why not show off this little thing, this little dinky thing?
Hello.
I'd like to travel to the Oracle Station. Yes, we can fly. Whee! And so this is fast travel within the zone. Because it's such a big place. It's huge. And so we're heading, I think it's like right around here, or right around here, somewhere around there. Which is the Oracle Station. There'd be also these enemies that would pop up from time to time. The Fippy Dark Paws, if you will. These rare spawns that would happen from time to time that have a big name that would be like super high level compared to everything else in the area. But it would be like a legendary creature that people then have to join up and fight and work together to do. Because it was something where like you'd need like 6 to 10 people to fight. But they would pop up from time to time based on like meeting certain criteria. So like in the Newbie Island, there's one, you read this book and it's like, hey, there's this creature, this legendary creature that the goblins worship. And it only comes about if you bring it skulls, not goblin skulls, but human skulls. And going into this graveyard and collecting 6 skulls and placing them on a certain rock, and it'll summon them. And that's just super interesting. Like, if you didn't read the book, you wouldn't know that's the case. And that gives you like just insight into discovering things and how discovery is so important in an MMO and its immersion. This is the Oracle Tower. They have these just big structures that are enormous. Hi, Predictor Swithin. How's it going?
It appeared in the karma pool while I was in trance. I saw it. So beautiful.
So beautiful. So what?
I am sorry, but we are having a private meeting. This is no concern of yours. Wait, please do not go. You may be of use to us. I want to find the tree I saw and confirm its location. Unfortunately, I must remain here in the tower with my studies. Would you please help me?
I can see where shall I? The erudite at the Tower of the Oracles asked if I could be of assistance in locating a special tree. Quest variety and random encounters can make a game that much better. And Nate Wilkie, like in the Newbie Island, they highlight again a different type of quest that you can kind of discover. There's a situation where there's this tree, and there's these 4 wolves around the tree, and you're like, what? They're just like sitting, like they're facing the tree and like clawing at it. So you're like, what's going on? And if you look up the tree, you can see that there's a gnome up the tree, and so you kill all the wolves. And then you can interact with the gnome in the tree to help him down, and then he gives you a quest. And like, but if you didn't pay attention, if you didn't observe that abnormality, and the gnome isn't like easily seeable right from the get-go, and they don't have a big glowing symbol or anything, nothing to notate that that's a quest. But by just being observant, you notice this thing, and it isn't always just, hey, deliver this thing, hey, kill these many things. A lot of times it's like, hey, discover this place. Like here. Told me that the stars that she saw seemed to indicate that the tree within a tree was located in the center of the region called the Thundering Steppes. She asked if I would bring back one of the golden acorns found on the tree. I've never hunted a tree before, so this should be interesting. That's way more playful, like some of the old school adventure games. Exactly, Nate Wilkie. Exactly.
When I peered into the cloud, I saw a constellation of stars that told me where the tree could be found. Go to the heart of a region called the Thundering Steppes, near the natives. You will seek a tree within a tree, one dead and one alive. When you find it, take a golden acorn from its branches and...
There's a game out that's more modern. It considers itself a tiny multiplayer online RPG called Book of Travels. Oh, dude. Sound design's fantastic. Oh, God. I will die. Hold on. Let's go this way. A game called Book of Travels, which is... It kind of... Oh, jeez. Yeah, I need to go around and down. We can probably take the Griffin over to where the Thundering Steppes is, and we can see if we can actually do this quest or not. If we might die. What it does is it's part adventure game, part like MMO. So it's got a combat system, it's got like a skill system and progression in that regards and leveling, but you level through like knowledge. So I'm gonna die. Don't die. Take a nice walk. Jester's Garden. Three high elf funny bones. It's used for crafting level 1 through 9. Interesting. But there's like ways to do quests. There's no quest markers. There's nothing like that. And even what is and is not a quest is very opaque. So you have to really kind of experiment and play with the game and its mechanics in weird and interesting ways. So like, we'll go to the step station. One of the things that they do is, like, there's a character. To learn how to read in the game, you have to find this teacher, and somebody mentions that he's old school. That he is, he does things very old-fashioned, and he won't address you unless you are sitting prostrate before him. So you have to, like, sit in front of the NPC in order to even engage in dialogue with them. And, like, oh, there's a situation where this person's practicing, like, I'm practicing this really important, it's like they're doing this ritual in these ruins. And, like, we need explicit concentration. You know, do not bother us. It's just really important. And if you go in there and cast a spell, doesn't matter what, like, you can do ones that, like, cast fireworks or whatever. It throws the balance of the ritual off, and all of them like transmorph into something like a creature and stuff like this. It's like silly little things that really change and alter the state of the game in a way that is more about experimentation and exploration. And that was very much the case here in original Everquest 2. Original Everquest 2 is very much that in a big way. so we're heading to the Thundering Steps, which is this way. Let's see if we can find that tree. But the music in this was all fully orchestrated, and it was almost fully voiced. And it does look like language. You know, I talked about this earlier, and I've talked about it a lot. One of the big things that I love about this game is its use of language. So there'll be characters that speak languages you don't know. And, for instance, if it's like something like a High Elf, you know, the High Elf language, that's easy enough to learn. There's a book that can teach you it. Great. You bought it. You learned it. Now you can talk to people who natively just speak that language. But they're also, like, creature languages. And by, like, killing those creatures, you may find pieces of information, like, see, this would normally be a quest. Let's see if it is. Wanted poster. No. So you'd find wanted posters around that would have bounties on certain creatures and named enemies and stuff like that, which is cool. Anyways. And so you'd have to, like, do a quest or find books, like, hard to find books that would teach you bits and pieces of the language, or hunt the enemies to get parts of their text, or go into a dungeon where they're headquartered and, like, get in good standing with them and be able to learn that language. And that opens up to new quests and all this stuff. Learn by exposure. Absolutely. That increased your ability to understand it. You know, that was the case in Everquest as well, was learn by exposure. Somebody was trained in it, they'd talk and you'd learn more and more. And that's great. I love that stuff very much. I don't know where the tree within a tree is, though. We're going to see. This is way past our level. We're level 1. We shouldn't be out here. Not right now, Borges. Sorry, buddy. I'm on a mission. Things are probably going to kill me here.
Hello.
Let's go to Thunder Mist Village. Let's see what it's got for me. Remember a game where they had real languages and expected you to figure out the translation? It was super difficult murder mystery. Interesting, Nate Wilkie. I mean, Mist Online, also learning the Denis language, very tricky, and wasn't necessary, but it was very, like, helpful in getting context in the world. Looking for a tree within a tree. We do have to call it a night soon. It's late. I got a lot to do tomorrow too, but let's just go explore a little bit. So there's a little village. This is yeah, the Thundering Steps. Such a great place. So there's little villages and outposts that happen and exist in these places that aren't you know, that aren't the norm. Ciphers and stuff like this. That was also why I really enjoyed the Secret World a lot. The Secret World did a really great job of... Oh, I bet you it's this way. This looks like a bunch of a big wooded area. Over here too. There's a lot of places it could be. Can I climb this? I'm curious. The Secret World was a great MMO that allowed you had to Google stuff and look up real world information and really do actual research. They did puzzles so well. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. That's Star Wars Galaxies. Star Wars Galaxies, absolutely phenomenal. Another brilliant MMO. Ooh, there's some foliage there. I don't think this place is built yet, so like I don't think I have any worries about getting killed in these areas. Yeah, so that was the Star Wars MMO. Super good. Very different kind of game, too. Yeah, none of this stuff is... Oh, yeah, that guy is. Okay, so they do have some aggro stuff. A couple things. But it looks like it's not complete yet. Yeah, no, these guys should be aggro. Star Wars Galaxies was fascinating because it was very much the living world economy. So it was one that was dedicated to those guys are aggro. To creating the living world and the living economy, and essential for kind of letting players drive a lot of the action and activity in the game world. You could chat cross-game. Oh, really? In EQ2 and Star Wars Galaxies? Interesting. I did not know this. Hovering Death Claws. Named Mob Claw. Look at you, buddy. You're so cool. You're so majestic. Hi. This is not the tree that we are looking for. Let's keep going. I'm curious now. Look at this, the beetles. All these craters. So essentially what happened here, the explanation of all these craters, is that when the moon had kind of exploded and crashed, a lot of pieces of the moon had crashed in here. There are so many just craters as a result of that. That's part of why this place is the way that it is. There's Luklin, whatever it's called. Ooh, look at this. It's an old mage tower. Or mage spire. Teleportation cube. Looking for a tree within a tree. Patriarchs, yeah. Grim Feather, level 37. So the max level was 50 in vanilla. So this stuff was a much higher level area for play, for fighting. So let's see, the centaurs seem to be aggro. Oh, this might be our tree. I see something over there. Look at you. So majestic. So majestic. Don't piss off the hunters. Spiradox miners. Let's see if this leads us to where we want to go. Let's see. Dead trees. Is that the one? That might be, actually. Great. Great! Centaurs everywhere. That will kill me. And gather one of its acorns. Yeah, a living tree inside of a dead tree. I don't think the quest is ready yet. They haven't built it yet. That's definitely the tree, though. So yeah, you can absolutely get in like good standing with the centaurs, and they have like a village that you can go to and quests that you can learn. So it's never a situation of like, oh, those guys are aggro to me right now. You kill the certain things, you do the right thing, they won't be aggro to you. And then you can go to their villages and start like learning about them and doing their quests. This accursed rock heaps. Again, we don't know much about the story of what's going on here. Not much at all. Whee! None of these guys do anything for us. But now being down here, you're kind of stuck, and you gotta follow through these gorges to get to where you need to go. And it changes how you traverse and travel, which is just fantastic. Anyways, I have to call it a night. I got stuff I gotta do. It's almost midnight. Let's camp. So yeah, it's just a little pop-up stream. I will be back tomorrow to be doing City of Heroes. We're playing City of Heroes tomorrow. So let's go find somebody to raid, shall we? Tomorrow night, 8 p.m., City of Heroes. I appreciate you guys hanging out for this. It's been a blast. I'm glad to be able to like just show the game in general. And that people are working on this. You want to help? EQ2 Emulator.net. I did, Sakura. Easy. Easy peasy. That was super easy. Alright, let's go see who we can raid. Let's go say hi to... Ooh. Hash has a tab open to that COH installer also. Interesting, Hash. If I have set Thursdays open, I might be able to come and join you. We'll see how it goes. I don't know what my schedule is this week. Let's go say hi to Atari Beer Pong. I haven't rated them in a very, very, very long time. They're playing Quake. Their first time playing Quake. Let's go say hi to them. Atari Beer Pong. Alright. I'll be back tomorrow night, 8 p.m. We're going to play City of Heroes. That's going to be our new MMO Monday for a little bit. Have a wonderful night, everybody. I'll see you all later. And as always, to humor. Farewell. Goodbye. Whee!